It's 3 a.m. and you wake up because your jaw feels like it's on fire. Not an ache, not a twinge, a full, pulsing, throbbing fire that's radiating up into your ear, down into your neck, and every heartbeat feels like it's happening inside your gum. You press your hand against your cheek. It's hot, swollen, and it's the year 1740. There's no ibuprofen in the house. There's no emergency dentist 20 minutes away. There's barely a dentist at all. So what actually happens next? Stage 1, you wait. Because in the 1700s, seeing someone about it wasn't a same-day thing. You'd try folk remedies first, rinsing with vinegar, packing the socket with tobacco, maybe pressing a hot poultice of onion or garlic against your cheek because your grandmother swore by it. Some people rubbed whiskey directly onto the gum, less for the antiseptic effect and more because a stiff drink at 3 a.m. tends to take the edge off anything. And if you could get your hands on it, you'd hold a clove in your mouth because someone told you clove oil numbs pain. Weirdly, that part actually works a little. Clove oil contains eugenol, a mild natural anesthetic that dentists still use trace amounts of today. But mild is the key word. It's the 1700s equivalent of putting a Band-Aid on a broken bone and hoping nobody asks questions. Stage 2. The pain doesn't stop, so you go looking for help. But here's the twist. There is no the dentist. Dentistry as an actual licensed medical profession barely existed yet. The person you'd end up seeing was most likely a barber-surgeon. Same guy who cuts your hair, shaves your face, performs bloodletting, sets broken bones, and yes, pulls teeth. One trade, guild, and toolkit covering 4 completely different jobs with 0 specialization required. Imagine walking into a Great Clips and asking them to also perform minor surgery, and them saying, "Sure, take a seat." That was an ordinary Tuesday in 1740. There were traveling versions of these guys too. Tooth pullers who'd show up at markets and fairs, sometimes with a small crowd gathered to watch, because pulling teeth in public was considered decent entertainment. Painful for you, riveting for everyone else. Stage 3, the tools. If your tooth needed to come out, the barber-surgeon reached for something called a tooth key, and it looks exactly as medieval as it sounds. Picture a metal rod with a hinged claw on the end, like a tiny crowbar built specifically for your mouth. He'd hook the claw around the base of the tooth, brace his hand against your jaw for leverage, and twist. Not pull straight up, twist, like turning a stubborn bolt. No numbing, no sedation, no consent forms, no let me know if you feel any discomfort. Just you, a wooden chair, someone's forearm pinning your head back, and raw torque applied directly to your skull. And it gets worse, because the tooth key didn't just remove teeth cleanly. It frequently shattered them at the root, tore into the surrounding gum tissue, dislocated the jaw, or in genuinely documented cases, cracked the jawbone itself. Success wasn't guaranteed. Pain relief wasn't guaranteed. The only guarantee was that it was going to hurt immediately, with your eyes wide open the entire time, and that you'd walk away either with a clean gap where a tooth used to be, or with a much bigger problem than you started with. Now, here's the part that actually explains why this mattered so much. Infection. Once a tooth broke, cracked, decayed, or got yanked out incompletely, there was no root canal, no filling, no antibiotic waiting on the other side. Bacteria had a direct, unguarded path from your mouth straight into your bloodstream. And that toothache you woke up with at 3 a.m.? For a disturbing number of people in this era, that pain was the opening scene of something called sepsis, a full-body infection that spreads uncontrolled through the blood, shutting organs down one by one. Modern historians and medical researchers estimate that dental infections and their downstream complications were a leading, quietly accepted cause of death for centuries. Not dramatic, not written about in the history books next to wars and plagues, just an ordinary, forgettable way people's lives ended. No monument, no headline, just a swollen jaw that never got better. Here's the twist that reframes everything. George Washington. Yes, that Washington. Historians now understand his famous ill-fitting dentures weren't just an aesthetic problem for portraits. They were the end result of a lifetime of exactly this. Repeated extractions starting in his 20s, chronic gum infection, and dental agony that followed him for decades before he ever became president. The wooden teeth myth isn't even true. His dentures were actually built from a mix of ivory, gold wire, and other people's real extracted teeth, sourced in ways historians still debate today. But the pain behind them? Absolutely real and absolutely relentless. which means one of the most powerful men in early American history, commanding armies, running a country, sitting for the paintings on your currency, was walking around mid-revolution dealing with the exact same raw, unmedicated dental horror as everyone else in the room. No amount of wealth, status, or power protected you from your own mouth. Your teeth didn't care who you were. So back to you at 3 a.m. in 1740, jaw on fire. Best case, the barber-surgeon gets the tooth out clean on the first pull. The swelling goes down over the following days, and you survive with one fewer tooth and a permanently different relationship with clove oil. Worst case, the extraction goes badly, the site gets infected, the infection spreads past the point anyone in 1740 knew how to stop, and a toothache, an actual ordinary toothache, becomes the thing that kills you. Not a war, not a plague, a tooth. Next time you're annoyed about a $40 copay, or you're dreading a routine cleaning, or you put off a dentist appointment for 6 months because you're too busy, remember that too busy used to mean something very different. It used to mean you didn't have 20 minutes to sit in a reclined chair with a numbing gel, a suction tool, and someone with an actual license standing over you. It meant a barber, a metal claw, a crowd at the market if you were unlucky enough to be outdoors, and hoping you weren't one of the people this didn't end well for. Your dentist appointment isn't the inconvenience. It's the miracle.